In this week's tutorial, we're creating a wildflower heart in Procreate, filled with mixed whimsical florals. We'll only be using one brush for this entire piece, and it's my Inky Edge Pro brush from my beautiful lettering brush set. I like this brush because it's pressure sensitive and has a textured edge to give everything more character, but you can really use any brush that you'd like. The color palette for this project is free as always. Just tap on the link in the video description and you can download and install it. I'm going to start by creating a brand new canvas. I've listed my specs on screen, and let's begin. I've got my brand new canvas. The first thing I'm going to do is set my background color. So come to your layers, tap on background color, and it's going to be the darkest color, the very first color on the top row. Next, we need to give ourselves a base to work from for our heart shape. So I'm going to utilize the symmetry tool for this, but you could definitely freehand a heart if you'd rather do that. So first I'm going to switch to a light color. It doesn't matter which one, I just need to be able to see it. And then hit your wrench, go to canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide. Down here, tap on symmetry, options, and you want to make sure vertical symmetry is selected. And I obviously cannot see this line at all, so in order to change the color in this rainbow bar up here, I'm just going to tap and drag up here and make it white, and then down here I can also make it a little bit thicker and denser in transparency, and then hit done. Now I've got that line down the middle, and I've got my Inky Edge Pro brush selected, and I'm going to draw a heart. Once you have your heart drawn, we can turn off our drawing guide, and I'm going to reduce the size of this just a little bit and then center it on my canvas. So when those crosshairs appear, I know that it's centered. Now I'm going to reduce the opacity of this because it is just a template. It's not going to be a part of our final design. We just need to see the outline so we can enclose all the decorative elements within it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is create a brand new layer, and I always like starting with my largest elements first and then filling everything else up with supporting elements. So my primary elements are going to be these really big pink daisies, so I'm going to draw those first. I'm going to grab the lightest pink color to create the base of these daisies, which are the petals, and these ones are definitely going to be the largest ones, so just keep that in mind as you're drawing them out. I also try to avoid putting any of my primary elements directly in the center of the heart because I don't want to draw too much attention to that for the viewer. I want their eye to go all the way around the shape, so I intentionally make sure that the very center of my heart does not have one of these primary elements in it. Once I have these base shapes of my daisies drawn, I'm going to fill them in with color. If you've seen some of my recent tutorials, you know that you can continue with recoloring by just tapping on this continue filling with recolor. You want to reduce your flood amount and then drag the crosshairs inside of an element you want to fill and then tap inside of the other elements. So I'm going to be utilizing this quite a bit, so I wanted to mention that now. Now I'm going to draw some lines in, and you can either put this on a brand new layer or you can keep it on the same layer. I'm going to make everything very organized here, so I'm going to keep everything on separate layers as I work. I'm going to create a brand new layer. I'm going to grab the darkest pink on the top row, and the size of my brush is about 4%. So for this, I'm just going to draw some lines up inside of the petals just to give a little bit of extra detail so I don't have these really large elements that look too plain. Let's paint in the stamens next, create a brand new layer. I'm going to grab this darkest color on the bottom row. It's actually a really dark blue, and I'm going to make a circle. And then I mentioned before that I love this brush because it's got a textured edge. So when I come in here, if I just push on the outside of this circle just a little bit, you can see I'm getting a really nice texture along the edge, and it just looks more organic this way. So that's why I like doing that. Okay, and since these are our primary elements, we want to add just a little bit more detail to these. So inside of that stamen, I'm going to put some dots, create a brand new layer, grab the medium blue color on the bottom row, and just add in some dots by stippling. Those are all set now, so we can group all of those layers together to keep things organized, and I can even label this one Pink Daisies. The next element will be some Black-Eyed Susans that I'm going to make purple. So I'm going to create a brand new layer, and I always like painting the petals of these first, that way I can establish the direction of them. So I'm going to paint them in the second purple on the top row, and these ones are always going to either be facing left or right. So the petals of these are going to be very similar to our daisies. Okay, I'm going to fill these in with that purple, utilizing that continue filling with recolor option that I talked about before. If you're expecting it to fill the shape and it actually fills the entire canvas, it means that your path is not fully closed. So if I zoom in here, you can see I've got a little gap in my path, so the color bleeds out of it, and that's why the entire canvas turns that color. So now I know that I can just fill this in, and then I can go back to recoloring. I definitely want all of these to go behind my primary elements. So I'm going to drag this layer underneath my Pink Daisies group, and now they're behind them. And next I'm going to add some detail to these petals as well. I'm going to create a brand new layer. I'm going to switch to my darkest purple color, which is the same color as the background. And I'm going to reduce the size just a little bit more. I'm coming down to 3%. And these ones are going to have a line that goes straight through them. So I need to apply a clipping mask to this layer. So tap on the layer thumbnail and choose clipping mask. So now I'm going to just draw, I'm going to make this even smaller and come down to 2% and just draw 1 or 2 lines in each petal. If at any point in time the pace of this tutorial feels too fast, remember you can always hit the gear icon in the lower right hand corner of the YouTube player and adjust the playback speed, and then you can make me go as fast or as slow as you'd like. Okay, once you have all of your lines in there, let's put in the stamen of our Black-Eyed Susan. So create a brand new layer. I'm going to switch to the brightest yellow color and draw that stamen right on top. And that's what it'll look like for all of these. It's kind of like the yolk of a fried egg. Fill those in. Okay, and we're going to add some dots to these as well. So create a brand new layer, switch to the second color on the bottom row. I'm going to make my brush just a little bit bigger, 3%, and add some dots just to the base of these. These ones are all set now, so let's group those layers together. Label this group Black-Eyed Susans. Next, we're going to add in some small supporting flowers. So I'm going to tap on the layer with the heart, create a brand new layer right above it. I'm going to grab this dark pink color up on the top row, increase my brush size up to about 12%, and these ones are going to be gap fillers basically. So wherever I've got a little bit of space, these are going to be really simple 5-petaled flowers, and all I'm going to do to make these is just press on the screen a little bit, and with this pressure sensitive brush at this size, it works really well to draw these pretty quickly. So I'll do like little clusters here and there when I've got a big gap to fill, and then I can just use 1 or 2 at a time on some of the smaller gaps. Okay, now we can paint in the stamens, so I'm going to create a brand new layer. I'm going to grab the lightest blue color and just put a dot inside each one of these. We're going to continue filling this out just a bit more, but that completes our floral elements. So I'm just going to group those last florals together and just label these ones supporting florals. Select the heart layer again, create a brand new layer right above it. And now we're going to start adding in some foliage. So I'm going to grab my lightest color, it's almost a white color, and I'm going to reduce my brush size way down. I'm going to come all the way down to about 2 or 3%. Let's try 3 first and see. And I'm going to add in a few stems to some of these, but I'm only going to draw them in when I know I can tuck them behind other elements. I usually connect them towards the top half, but leave them unconnected at the bottom since they're kind of floating down here, and it'd look kind of weird to have really short stems. Next, we're going to add in some foliage to the same layer. So anywhere you've got an additional gap, I'm going to reduce the size down to 2% for this part. Draw a stem or 2, and then I'm just going to put a line here and then on both sides. So these are kind of small and delicate looking, but they're just going to fill these extra parts in, and because it's such a bright color, we don't want them to overpower our primary elements. So that's why they're on the small side. And then one last supporting element to the background to kind of anchor everything. I like drawing in some really large leaves, so I'm going to create a brand new layer, drag this underneath the layer that we just drew, and I'm going to switch to my lightest purple color, so it's the 3rd one on the top row. We're going to increase my brush size just a bit. So I'm going to fill in anywhere where it feels like there's not a lot going on. So right here, I've got a lot going on, but in this section right here, I don't. So that's where I would put a really large leaf. And I'm doing my best to make sure I'm closing my paths here, that way I can fill it all in with color, doing that recolor option like we've been doing. We'll see what that looks like and see if we have to either eliminate some of these or add more in. So let's fill them in. Let's turn off the visibility of our heart and see how that feels. I think this one right here should have been moved over a little bit, so I'm just going to do my best to select it back here and just move it over a little bit. I just didn't like having this line that didn't have anything interrupting it in the background, so that's why I'm shifting that right there. That feels much better. Next, I'm going to add in some lettering before we add in our final heart elements because I want them to swoop around my message. So I'm going to switch to my lightest color. I still have my Inky Edge Pro brush selected. I'm going to increase the size of it up to about 10-11% and turn on my 2D grid. So drawing guide, edit drawing guide, tap on 2D grid, and you'll have to change the color again up here at the top. I always use my finger because for some reason the stylus does not cooperate with me up there. Okay, done. And then use this as the baseline for my lettering. Let's make sure we're on a brand new layer. Create a brand new layer. I'm going to drag this one all the way to the very top and then write out your message, or you could use typable text if you'd rather do that. Okay, I'm going to center this, reduce the size a little bit. Because my heart is in the center, it's not as comfortable as it could be, so I'm actually going to select everything I've done so far except for the lettering and move this straight up. So it's a little higher than center to accommodate my message. And now I can tap my message up just a little bit and then I'll feel a lot more comfortable. Okay, I can turn off that grid now. I don't need it anymore. Now the last thing I'm going to do is add in some itty bitty hearts. So what I like to do is create a brand new layer and I draw a line, and that helps me to determine the path that they're going to appear along. This isn't going to be part of the final artwork. It just helps me to decide where I'm going to place the hearts. So I've got this swooping line that comes through, so it's going to direct your eye down into the message, and I'm keeping that heart as the center focal point. Okay, so make sure you create all of your hearts on a brand new layer. Don't create them on this line layer, otherwise it kind of defeats the purpose. And now let me reduce my brush size down to about 5%, and I'm just going to draw these little hearts, and I'm going to keep them smaller the closer they are to the big heart, and I'm even going to add a few to some of the negative space within this heart to have it continue all the way through. So they're smaller when they're near the heart, and then they get progressively larger as you get further away. So make sure you add some along the line. You can switch up the direction of them, and they kind of scatter more the further away from the heart they get, so it kind of looks like confetti a little bit too. Okay, let's turn off that line layer and see if we have any gaps we need to fill in. Okay, and then to make it seem like it's sparkling a little bit, I also add in some tiny dots here and there as well. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you next week.